All right, so we've gotten most of our overlapping joints cut. We've cut in all four corners. There's still one more set of walls that are overlapping, and that's this main wall, the handle wall, and this side wall. So let's go ahead and cut that one next. To do that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to punch a hole. I only want there to be, well, let's make two of them. So let's just do this as like a hole right where there's wood here, and then a hole where there's wood there, and then we'll punch through with this other side. So I'm going to make two holes in this side and go from there. All right. So to do that, I want to create a sketch. I'm going to create it on this side face, and I need to know where this wall is. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to do a project tool, and I'm going to project this face onto there. And I'm going to click, notice how my project is on top of that one. I'm going to pull it off so I don't get confused by that. I'm going to click OK, and now it's drawn that. So I can get rid of everything except the side that I'm working on, which I think is the right side, but I'll have to check to make sure. Yeah, I'm working on the right side. Okay, so there's that part. I'm going to actually create one rectangle right here, and I'm going to do thickness here. And on this other one, I'm going to do lid height, though it should be tray height, divided by 4, enter. That'll give me the same width here. And then I'm just going to dimension it just like I did before, except I'm doing it right in the middle. So I'm going to dimension there to there. And I'm going to say that that one is lid height divided by 8, because I want a little half tab there. And then it's going to come down here. And this time I'm going to need all 4 sides. So I'm going to click, whoops. I'm going to escape out of my dimensioning tool. I'm going to click on that side, that side. Can't quite get it. There it is, that one. So I'm going to hold down the shift key, and then I'm going to click them so they all keep selecting each other. So if you're not holding shift, it won't select more than one thing at a time that way. And then I'm going to use the move tool, and I'm going to say create a copy inside the move tool, and then I'm just going to drag it, not using this dot in the middle. This will drag all over the place and be a mess really fast. I'm going to drag just here so it can only go down. It just doesn't matter where I put it. I'm just going to put it somewhere. And then I'm going to dimension between this one, and remember that should be a full tab. So that is lid height divided by 4. Oop, it was already in the exact right place. I'm so good I didn't even need to do that. And then that's it. I'm going to sit here and just extrude this. I'm going to say this one and this one need to be extruded. And I'm going to rotate them. And I'm going to extrude them way too much all the way through. And then I'm going to say, nope, just go to the object. Okay. And then I'm going to click OK. Now the hole is there. So what I can do now, actually, I'm going to wait. I'm going to go put those 2 holes on the other one as well. So I'm going to zoom out some, and I'm going to turn the, it looks like left tray on. Create a sketch right there. I'm going to actually turn the handle back on as well. That way I can do a quick projection of it. Create projection. Yep, that right there. Where's my projection window? It didn't do it. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try create, project. There's my window projection. I'm going to say, okay, that's all I need. Now I'm going to create a rectangle inside here. Doesn't really matter where. I'm going to remind it, hey, Craig, how are you? We're doing a certain thickness, and then the height of it is going to be the lid height divided by 4, enter. And now I need to position it. So I'm going to use my dimensioning tool. I'm going to click on here to this line here. And I'm going to call that lid height. And remember, this is supposed to be a half tab, so it's divided by 8 instead of divided by 4. There it is. And then I'm going to highlight, escape out of my dimensioning tool, hold down shift and highlight all 4 sides. I'm going to zoom in some so I can see it. There, there, and there. Got all 4 of them. And then I'm going to use the M for move tool, create a copy, and then I'm just going to drag that copy straight down some. Doesn't matter where I put it. Say OK. it just moved it. Now I'm going to dimension it into place. So I'm going to use the dimensioning tool. I'm going to click here and here. And this one should be height. Oop, this one should be lid height. Yep. Divided by 4 because we want a full width in between them. Oh, and notice how it didn't turn these two blue. That's because I never specified that I want this to be thickness. Nope, cancel. Don't want to do that. Never mind. Okay, now it just didn't catch up with me. So it was blue for a while because it was just catching up with everything I had done. So now it's all fixed in place. Everything is good. Last thing we need to do is cut these holes. So I'm going to actually turn off the handle because I'm not sure if it will cut a hole in the handle if I'm not careful. I don't want to do that for sure. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to choose this one, this one. I'm going to extrude them all the way through and then just say, don't go that far, just go all the way and be done. I click OK, and now I'm happy. So now I'm going to put the handle back in there, and I'm going to cut the handle using the combine tool. So handle is visible. I'm going to go combine my target. I want to cut this, and I want to use this side and this side to do the cutting with. And you can see it nicely cut in there. And then I'm going to click OK. And now I've just cut the handle. Everything looks perfect so far. So these are all worked into each other, and then the back and the front are all joined together, but nothing is joined to anything else. So we got to go back and fix all those. That was all of our overlapping joints. Now we're going to do the ones that we just butted together. So notice the bottom of the tray. Oh, that's not cool. Check this out. The last extrusion I did was not, I did it, oh, you guys probably saw I was doing that and you were probably yelling at your screen, Mr. Hada, don't be a dummy. So what I'm going to do is go back and find that one. So if I click on these old extrusions, that's for that one. Okay, so then this is for those. I'm just going to find the one that's for, oh, there it is, for this wall right here. I'm just going to right click on it and edit feature. And I can change it from join to new body and then just click OK. Look how easy that was. Like I just fixed it. I got a new body and I'm going to call this tray 4. So easy to fix mistakes in Fusion 360. Well, sometimes. Other times you think you fix it and you make it worse. But that's just life, right? You have to start over sometimes. All right. So now that's another one. I'm going to turn that one off. So all these other ones, actually turn them all back on. They're just butted up to it. So instead of being able to like cut one away and then cut the other one, we're going to actually click on this wall right here, hide everything else, and we're going to build little tabs sticking out from this one and out from all of these. Okay? And it's going to be super easy. All right, so here's how it starts. So yeah, let's use this one. It's a pretty good sized wall. So we're going to actually build, I think, 4 tabs across the bottom and then just 2 across the top. So I think that might be a good way to do it. That way it locks into the bottom one and locks into this side and that side. So I'm going to turn everything off except this one, which is 1. So everything except tray 1 turns off. And now that's the wall I'm working with. I'm going to do this side, this bottom, and this side, adding tabs to all of them. So I'm going to rotate around so I can see that side. I'm going to create a sketch right on this edge here. And I'm going to do just like I did before. So I'm going to do 2 tabs. So I'm going to draw a rectangle across here. And I'm going to dimension this. And I don't actually care about the thickness right now, because whatever I do to this tray, it's going to screw everything up. So if I change the thickness, it's a mess because I haven't done anything parametrically correctly because it was just too hard to do that way. So I'm going to do dimensioning tool to here, and I'm going to say this is height or lid height. And I want 2 tabs, so I got to do divided by 8 because I want a little half tab at the top. Enter. Yeah, this is right. And then I'm going to do a real quick, I'm going to escape out of that. And I'm not going to worry this time about this blue line at the bottom. I don't really care that much about, I mean, this is just for right now. Like if it's not going to work anyway. if that makes sense. It's not going to work if I change all the dimensions around. Whoops. Z. So I'm going to highlight these two again. Sorry. Hold down the shift key. I just want just these two because the sides I don't need. And I'm going to do the move command. And I'm going to do create copy. And then I'm going to see if this works. And yep, there it is. So now I'm going to do those two. And I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to do a dimensioning tool from this one to that one. And this might get screwed up. So let me do this. See how it works. Divided by 4. Yeah, so that's what I was afraid of. So let me go back. I need to actually copy all 4 sides. Otherwise, these two won't be linked together anymore. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say this one, this one, this one, and this bottom one. I'm going to do M for move. I'm going to create a copy. And I'm going to slide that whole 4-sided thing down. Now when I dimension between them, they'll all scooch down together. I'm going to click OK, and now I'm going to dimension between the 2 rectangles there to there. And this should be a full size, so it should be lid height divided by 4. Awesome, that's perfect. And now I'm just going to extrude this. So I'm going to say E, extrude this one and this one. And I want this to be joined now because I want it to be part of this piece of wood. And I'm going to extrude it out thickness. So just far enough to stick through the piece of plywood on the side. And now it should, when I do this okay, it becomes part of this body. So now it's one body. And now I'm going to do that same thing on this other side. So I'm going to grab a sketch, click here, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. And I should have dimensioned it before I stopped it, but let me do that now. So I'll dimension this side as being the lid height divided by 4. Dimension this next one from here to here. And this is going to be lid height divided by 8. Enter. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to shift and select all 4 sides. I'm going to use the M, the move. Whoa, it didn't do it. Hang on, cancel. And what didn't it do? Shift. And I'm going to select all 4 sides. There it is. And then do the move tool, create a copy, and then I'm going to drag that copy down to here-ish. Click OK. Excuse me. And then I'm going to do the dimensioning tool. I'm going to dimension it from here to here. And that should be that lid height divided by 4. A full tab. Enter. And now I'm going to click escape out of this, extrude. I want to extrude this one and this one. I want to make sure which way they're going. And I'm going to say, hey, nope, I want to join. And I want this to come out thickness. Enter. And now I've got the left and the right side done. I just need to do the bottom face. So I'm going to rotate around so I can see the bottom. And then I'm going to do a new sketch. Uh-oh. The construction plane is in the way. So this will be a little bit weird. I'm going to click here, but I didn't actually click on this surface. I clicked on the construction plane we made the first time because it was in the way. And let me see where that is, because the one I'm trying to figure out is if this is flat on the plane. And it is. So there's no gap in between there. So I should be okay to just extrude it from there. Although I really don't like that. So I'm going to click finish sketch. You see the difference is that I'm not actually on that piece. I'm on the actual huge plane I made before. So I'm going to finish this sketch. I'm going to Control Z to undo that last sketch that I made. One more time. There it goes. Now the sketch is gone. I'm going to come up here to construction. And I'm going to see, nope, that's not the right plane. So let me see if there's a construction one in my assembled tray. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to actually, oh no, that plane. Why is that there? That's so weird. I don't understand that at all. All right, so I've got to live with it. So I'm not going to spend any more time thinking about it. I'm going to click my construction plane there. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to create from, well, actually, I'm going to do a projection first. Project. I want to project the full rectangle onto my construction plane, even with the tabs. So everything is there. I'm going to click OK. Now I can actually go and do this. So I'm going to create a rectangle. And this time I'm going to do 4 instead of 2. So, now I'm trying to think what the easiest way to do this is, because the shifting around is going to be weird. So escape. What I'm going to do first is do a quick measurement. Yeah, I'm going to just measure that. So I'm going to measure from this one, not including the tabs I just made, to this one. And that's 6.738. Wow, what a weird number. That's bizarre. Why is that such a weird number? Yeah, 6.738. Okay, so I guess that's what we're using. So remember, each tab is, if you want to make 4 tabs, each one has to be 1/8, twice the 4, 1/8 that height. So it's going to be 6.738 divided by 8. Enter. And that's going to be the first tab, and it's the right thickness. Well, let's just make sure real quick. I'm going to dimension this side. I'll show you how to do the rest in the next video. Creating 0.275. So enter. Perfect. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I want to space this one out by 1/8 of that one. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Dimension it. I want this to be a little half tab again, so this is going to be not 1/8, but 1/16, a half of that even. So this is going to be the 6.738 divided by 16. Woof! All right, that's a lot of math. That's a lot of math. And then I'm going to do the move tool. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to click. Oops, let me escape actually, because I'm in the measurement tool still. So I'm going to click here, highlight that one. Shift, highlight this one. Come on, select it. There's that one. Nope. There it is, finally got it. And now I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to create a copy. And I'm going to move it down to here. And I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to do that again. The reason I'm not using the rectangular pattern tool is I don't really want to take the time to figure out exactly how far everything should be apart to be perfectly spaced. So I'm just doing it this way instead. Like, it's totally fine if you want to spend a little bit of time. Whoops. I want to create a copy. And I'm not worried about the spacing right now. I'm just kind of roughly spacing them. And then in a second, I'll dimension them and space them correctly. And I'm going to do that one more time because I want 4 tabs along the bottom. And I'm going to do the move tool. I'm going to create a copy. I'm going to move that copy down a little bit. And I'm going to click OK. All right, now I got to go back and dimension things. So I know I want this to be a full tab here. And a tab is divided by 8. So I'm going to just take this. It's just like this one, right? So I'm going to take this one and just copy it. Control C. And then I'm going to come down. Control C, enter, get rid of that one. Now I'm going to dimension. So I'm going to say dimensioning from this line to this line, boom. I'm going to do Control V. It'll paste that in for me, hit enter. And then I'm just going to do that for each of these. Or I could just type them in. Control V, it'll put that formula in there for me. Boom. And then here to here. Control V, enter. All right, so now that should leave a little half tab there and a little half tab there, so everything should be good. I'm going to extrude this. I'm going to pull this one, this one, this one, and this one out. I'm going to do a join, and I'm going to extrude this way. But I only want to extrude that a thickness. Did that go in? I think that went in. Wait. It bombed on me. I'm going to go. No, just, oh no, okay. I control Z to get it back. I did something wrong. So let's do another extrusion. I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to pull this piece, this piece, this piece. No, not that whole thing. That piece, that piece. All right. So I'm going to extrude them up, and that's going to need to be a negative thickness. Enter. And I'm going to say it's a join, so that's good. So I'm going to say, okay, now I just made that piece. All right, let's flip it back to home and see if we can't figure out what we just did. So now I'm going to turn everything back on, and I'm going to cut them real quick. So bottom. All right, so there's my piece that I just made. So I'm going to cut the two sides and the bottom using this piece. Okay, so I'm going to do my combine tool. And I'm going to say my target body. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one, and I want to use this one. And I'm going to keep the tool, and I'm going to say okay. And now I want to combine. I want to cut this one. Sorry, no, that's not right. I want to cut the bottom using this one. And I'm going to click OK, keep tool. And then I'm going to combine. I'm going to cut this side using this one. OK. And now, if I rotate it a little bit, I'm going to hit the move tool. I'm going to just temporarily lift this one out of place. And you can see I just cut all the holes for it. So I'm ready to rock and roll. Now all I need to do is just repeat that over and over again. So I need to do that for each of my walls in through here. I'm going to pause and get that done. Well, that's the end of the video for now. So anywhere where I have not overlapping. So now you have a choice, right? You can either overlap your walls and cut them the old way, or you can not overlap your walls and then build it out and cut it that way. Or even you could overlap your walls and then cut the holes instead of cutting the tabs and then cut it that way. There's like, however you could think of doing it is a fine way of doing it. So go through and finish up all your other walls. I will do the same. And the next video, we'll talk about how we then flatten everything out. Oh, and don't forget, all these side pieces need to have tabs built off the bottom of them to go through the bottom piece, or vice versa. These need to be tabbed in somehow. All right, best of luck to you.